Hey everyone, welcome to Data Lounge. This is the second part of another video. In the first video, we created a calendar table in Power BI using DAX formula. In this video, we are going to create another calendar table using Power Query Editor in Power BI. So without further delay, let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. So we are in the model view of the dashboard, and you can see here the calendar table that we created using DAX formula in the last video. So now we are going to create the calendar table using Power Query Editor. So for that, I'm gonna go back to the report view, and I'll go to get data and use a blank query. So here we are in the blank query, and we need to enter, just like the DAX formulas, this is a different language in the Power Query Editor. So the format is a little bit different from DAX. So, but you'll see this is pretty simple, even though initially the first part may feel a little bit complex compared to the DAX formula. But once you create this one, this will be much easier to create individual columns within the calendar table. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to create a list of dates, just like we did with the calendar table in the DAX. So first you got to type a equal sign, equal list dot dates. And here it shows the arguments that you need to enter. So we need to enter a start date. We need to count enter the number of dates that we need to have the dates, and the step as duration. So the step here, as we are creating list of days, the step will be 1 day each, right? So let's start typing that. Bracket open. So the date we enter is in a different format. So this is how we enter date in this in the Power Query Editor. Hash date, bracket open, and type in the year, and start month and start day, 2022 January 1st. And that's the date value, and comma, and the next argument is count of number of days. So here what I'm going to do is I'm calculating the number of days from the start date and the end date. So for that, I'm going to use a function called duration.days. Duration.days. And we open a bracket, and we need to calculate that by entering the date values. So again, hash date 2025. This time it is 2025. The end date end date should be December 31st, right? So 12/31, bracket close, minus, as I mentioned, we are calculating the number of days. So minus hash date start date 2022 01/01. That's it, and bracket close. Now final step is we need to mention the duration should be in the steps of days. So hash duration. So this is a format to say that we are using the steps as days as the steps. 1 0 0 0. So here's what this means. Hash duration 1 means true for days, and this is hours, minute, and seconds. So day, it means true. These are all false. So that's what this function means. So we have start date, number of days by subtracting or finding the difference between the end date and the start date, duration in steps of the duration. That's days. Now enter. Oops, I got an error here. I think that's because the brackets. I need to have a bracket here. Duration.dates. Enter. Okay. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. That was a mistake in the brackets I put in. So duration dot days bracket open, and then find the difference between the dates, start date, end date, bracket close, hash duration 000 and close. So we have the list of dates, and all you got to do is you see this button over here that says to table. So we are converting that as a table. Click on that. You don't have to change anything here, just click on OK. So now you have all the dates as a column in a table. So now change that data type to date. Change the column header, double click on column header, change it to date, enter. So now we have the second calendar table. So I'm going to rename this query by double clicking here. Calendar, I'm going to name it calendar 2. So here's the fun part. So if you want to add the other columns such as year, month name, etc., all you got to do is add column, go to add column on top, go to date. Here you can see year. You can extract the year as a new column. Click on year. There it is. Go to date, click on date, go to date again, extract month, again click on date, go to name of the month. There we go. All this information just clicks away, and we don't have to worry about entering complicated formula in such as in the DAX. So week of the year or day of year, all these are readily available here, and you just got to click them to create those columns. So I feel this one is much more easier to work with, but there are preferences, and depends on what you want to do in your report. And one more thing I want to show before we conclude. So this one is a hard-coded end date, so we can change it to a dynamic calendar, just like we did for the DAX calendar. So all you got to do is create another blank query. Go to new source, blank query, create a date.year function, and again we are going to extract the date from the local system, so that will be date time dot local now, and put an empty bracket there, close the year function, plus this will give the current year. So I'm going to add 2 years on that. Okay, what's going on now? Local, okay, there's a typo. Now. There we go. So this is case sensitive. You had to make sure that the T is capital. So date.year, datetime.local now plus 2. So you can see here that year is 2025. Now if you go back to the calendar, click on source on the right side. So you see the formula here. So instead of the 2025, you just select that, change it to query. So once you start typing, it will show up query 1. There it is. Enter. There we go. So now the calendar is dynamic. And you can, you don't have to load the query 1 into the data model. So you just right click, uncheck the enable load. So you can see it's not gonna load into the data model. And now you go to home and click on close and apply. the calendar table will be created just like a new query. There we go. That's the calendar too. So if you come to the model view, you can see the calendars we created. So so just like I said, if you are creating the calendar, you will link these dates with the rest of the tables. So you don't need all these many calendars. You just need one calendar. Usually you just need one calendar, and you link the dates with the respective tables. So that's it, folks. Hope you guys were able to understand something and able to gain something from this video. Just let me know if you have any questions, or if you know any other easier methods to create calendar. Please shoot a message in the comments. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.